What's good, YouTube? It's your boy Judge Play here. We're back with another video. We're gonna be reacting to inmate sleeps with officer, escapes jail, and steals thousands. But the specific story time that he talks about, this video is 4 hours long. We're not about to react to 4 hours. Robbery gone wrong. Seen this clip on TikTok, and I'm like, I gotta react to this and hear the whole story. So if you're new, make sure you like, comment, subscribe. This is gonna be a good one.
I was home 8 months, and then the murder case. But before that, before the attempted murder, I had hit a lick robbery for $125,000 cash.
Okay.
This happened. I'm in high school.
Right.
I'm sitting in school suspension, and this guy walks up.
Okay, is in school suspension, like, where's that common at? Because I could have sworn I've never heard of anybody with in school suspension in my city.
We'll say his name. We cool. We cool now though. We ain't him cool. We cool too. So I'm sitting in school suspension. Everybody know me at the time for robbing. I kind of got a name for robbing. And this guy was a white guy, and he was like, "Man, I want to holler at you about this lick we getting ready to hit." I said, "That what's up? What's up?" He said, "Man, it's four of us." He said, "It's a woman who can barely see and barely hear." He said, "We from." True story.
I don't doubt it.
He said, "It's a woman who can barely see, barely hear." He said, "And we already know that the money is there because they had already been stealing and robbing them for guns."
Mm.
And so they ended up running across the safe, stealing the guns that they were selling. And I said, I said, "How much money is it?" He was like, I don't want to tell you. I don't want to tell you right now." He said, "But we're going to give you $5,000 a piece." That's $20,000. Damn. I said, "Well, who is it?" They wouldn't tell me who it was. He said, "If you tell me the plan will work," he said, "we're going to give you $5,000. I said, "Well, what's the plan?" He tell me the plan. He said, "Bro, the door gonna be unlocked. We're gonna pull in. We're gonna walk in like normal people." He was like, "Do you think we need to wear masks?" He was like, "Because everybody in the neighborhood knows we don't want to look suspect." He said, "We just gonna go in the house. He said, you walk in, you turn left. It's a closet right there.
He said, "We don't want to wear masks because we normal in this neighborhood. So y'all just basically robbing in plain sight."
To the blanket, the safe. We're gonna get the safe. Walk out. One of the guys is gonna watch the lady. Two people gonna pick it up. One person gonna stay in the truck. We're gonna do." I said, "That's it?" He was like, "Yeah." I said, "That's the easiest robbery I ever heard in my life." I was like, "Yeah, that'll work. That'll work. When y'all gonna do it?" Because I want my cut. So he was like, "We're gonna do it." He was like, "I'm gonna call you. I'll let you know." He was like, "You sure that'll work?" I was like, "Yeah, just let me know when y'all do it." A couple of days or weeks or whatever go by. I'm asking. They ain't never do it. So one day I'm sitting in the bed. It's kind of raining outside. My phone rang, and he was like, "Man, you need to get up." He said, you need to go with us." He was like, "This is the perfect time because whatever was going on, I guess they was at work or whatever." He was like, "But my brother, who's the other guy who's supposed to pick up the safe," he was like, "He ain't answering his phone. I think his phone dead or he with that girl or whatever." He was like, "We need you to be the fourth person." I already know the plan. But I had been telling my homeboys about it as far as how they told me, but I don't know where it's at. I don't know. I just know how they explained it.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
So they drive to the house and get me. I call my homeboys and tell them, "Y'all go to the house." Because my plan initially was, y'all rob us when we get back with the safe.
Right.
So
I'm gonna go with these dudes, take the safe, and then as we leaving, y'all gonna rob us and we get the whole money to ourselves. Hey, this dude, ooh, Lord have mercy.
So as they pick me up, they don't know I got a gun. We drive to the house. When we get to the house, this house is 5-6 minutes from where I live. Nice neighborhood. We literally bagged in the driveway. And I was like, I've been robbing the wrong way. Like, this is crazy. They bagged in, no mask, no gloves,
That's crazy.
no nothing. They stepped out of the car, and I was like, they were like, "Come on." I'm like, "This is crazy." So I got out. I walk in the house with them. Nice house. I'm talking about Corvette. They got all kind of stuff. We walk in, door unlocked. Guy went over, closed the door up on the lady. She watching Young and the Restless. We turned right there, boom, open the door, safe. Move the blankets. I was like, just that easy?
Bro, if y'all in this situation, y'all not questioning what's going on, bro, because like the door is unlocked. Why would the door be unlocked? Why Why do they have guns that they robbing them for? What is this blind and deaf lady doing with guns?
So we been down. At that point, my mind racing. Like, how do I gotta, like, what? We been down to pick the safe up, and I said it was too heavy. I said, put it down. I said, it's too heavy. I said, we can't get that. It's too heavy. Y'all, you have to go get your brother. He was like, nah, boy, I'm telling you, we got it. I said, no. I said, we picked it up and drop it. She hear it, police doing it. We doing too. I said, just go get your brother. We'll come right back. He was like, all right. So we covered it back up, closed the door. As we walking out, I'm texting my homeboys. Don't do, when we pull up, y'all be over here at the basketball court. Let them pull off, pick me up. They were like, all right, cool. They drive me back to my mama's house. I get out. They pull off. I waved them off. When they pulled off, my homeboys pulled up in the truck. Before they even stopped, I jumped in the back of the truck, put my hand on the window, opened the window. He was like, where we going? I said, turn his way. I said, when we get there, me and you, we going to pick up the safe. You go in, you watch this woman. She going to be over at this door. You sit in the truck. And as I'm driving, I'm explaining all this. We drive the back end the same way they did. That they were comfortable, we comfortable. We good. we we back in this driveway, get out, walk in, same plan. But this time, my little cousin, he see the keys. They had I don't think it was a Harley, it was some kind of motorcycle they had. He grabbed the keys. He was like, man, I said, no, that ain't what we here for.
He finna sell the mission, because if she report that motorcycle stolen, you're cooked, bro. Because then they're gonna be able to connect the two.
Put that down. Leave that alone. We go. He watched the lady. We been in the corner. Picked the safe up. Put it in the truck. Pulled off. Put it in the house. I told them to drive back around to the basketball court. I sit there. Waited a couple of minutes. They call me. We finna come back. We finna pick you up. We got my brother. That what's up. Cool. I'm going back a third time. They called.
This is a good story.
They called me. They were like, "Come outside." So I come out. I come running, gun on me. I'm knowing ain't none one of them got a gun. I get in the car. We drive down the street. Go back over there. They back in again. We go in the house, but what we forgot to do was close the door, the closet door where the safe was at. So we go in. The brother, he kind of cocky. He walk in. And he go over by the door, and then he.
So if y'all in that nice neighborhood, there's no way they don't got no neighborhood watch, right? How is different black people walk into this house so casually and nobody's questioning anything? Of course, y'all normal in the area, but that's not normal.
Turn the corner, he turned around. He was like, "Why would y'all left the closet door open? Like, what are y'all doing?" But he walking closer, and by the time he see the safe gone, he said he kind of started looking, and they were like, "What?" He was like, "The safe is gone." And he started going off. I upped the gun on everybody. Don't nobody move in here. Don't nobody move. Don't nobody move until I get my cut. I don't know what y'all did with the safe, where it's at, what you got going on.
Pulling. What do y'all guys pulling?
Quit playing with me. And everybody ducking and no, boo, I promise. I said, y'all don't know what y'all think this is. So I'm kind of going off and waving the gun at everybody, and we kind of calmed down. They were like,
this woman's in the next room.
She there. They said she could barely see and barely hear. I guess they told the truth. So we ended up leaving, getting in the car. We arguing in the car. I got the gun out the whole time. They take me back to my mama's house. They pull off saying we finna find out who done it. I had my homeboys to pull up. They pull up. We trying to crack it open. We couldn't get it open. One of my homeboys was on probation. Well, he was my cousin was on probation, the one who owned the truck, with his daddy's truck. He had to go see his probation officer, and one of my other homeboy, he wanted to ride with him to the probation officer. I said, that was so cool. So he leave, and there's only two of us. My brother upstairs, my daughter upstairs. We cracked the safe open, just enough for me to get my hand in it. And it was a little box. I unhooked the box, reach in the box, just enough to grab a little bit. And I pulled out all $100 bills. I pulled out about $30,000, all hundreds.
30 bands?
It scared me. I dropped it. I just looked at the money, and I looked at my cousin. We both was like, I think we both felt like we in trouble. More so than we rich. I think we were like, somebody come looking for this. And then, so I ran upstairs. I went and got my brother. I was like, come downstairs. He was a big time drug dealer at the time. So we come downstairs and he see the money. He was like, what you done did? I was like, and he grabbed the money. When he grabbed the money, my little cousin pulled a gun out on my brother. He was like, nah, you put that down. I said, whoa, hold on. He was like, nah.
Now, what kind of, so everybody just got toolies that they just pulling out on anybody? Are y'all all just really just like that for real? And if you said there was 125,000, there's only gonna give you 5 bands of that? That's crazy.
He was like, he didn't go with us. He ain't get nothing. He was like, man, and my brother threw the money up in the air. He was like, we rich. So we ended up getting all the money. That's $125,000 cash, all hundreds. And they had a bunch of coins, like with blue books in them. Like you can unfold them, and these coins would tell you the value. We didn't know what they were. We threw them away. I'm talking about stacks like this. Jars, Buffalo. I didn't know what Buffalo coins was. They had, I'm talking about thousands of coins. Thousands and thousands and thousands of coins.
So he probably stole not even 125,000 cash, but probably over double that in just the coins itself. Plus inflation is going to go up over years. I mean, you can't really sell it because then they can trace it. But this dude, they probably sold $500,000.
We
probably.
just took it and threw it away. Then years later, they was like, them coins, and I can remember seeing the value of them coins. I remember it. I just was like, man, we don't want no coins. We want the money. We threw all the coins away. And I ended up giving my brother majority. I gave my brother 60. I took 40, gave my little cousin 20. And then when they came, we told them it was only like 30, 40, and we gave them like $2,500 a piece. And then it came.
Bro, y'all are snake. Your brother got 60, you got 40, cousin that wasn't there got 20, 25. And then the other two people that actually contributed and was putting in work got only 2,000 of that.
Came out in the news. It came out in the newspaper how much money it was, and people started wearing T-shirts and saying that they was gonna give me. It started floating around that my name, that I done it, but the 4 white guys ended up getting charged, and they started telling them it was me.
They got charged for what? They didn't for burglary, but they didn't steal anything.
Wait, so the original people that you was with was white?
They still paying their money back to this day.
Oh my God!
True story.
They paying for what you did?
I talked to one of them, but I'll tell you what, man, I ran across one of them when I came home and had a job. And I didn't know he worked there until I was there for about 2-3 weeks. We ran across each other. We were driving a cherry picker, and I seen him. He seen me, and you could feel the tension. And somebody ended up saying something to him. And I was like, man, tell him I want to talk to him, because I don't know where your mind is. Like, and we ended up talking, and he jumped off the machine. He walked up to me, put his finger in my face. He said, man, I want to off you for a long time. He was like, but I understand. He was like, I was just another pawn in your chess game. And we had a conversation. He was like, I'm over it. He was like, but I don't even want nobody to know I got a job. He was like, bro, we still paying their money back. He was like, because of the interest. When you ain't paying, it's because of the interest, collecting interest or whatever the case may be. But yeah, man, they tried to tell the police that it was me. I went down there and talked to the police willingly 3 times. I went down there. In the car that I bought with the coat I had on, the first time I went there.
With the money.
In my pocket.
Right.
Well, the first time I went in there, the detective told me, he said, I'm only just following up on all leads. He said, I don't believe you got it. He's like, it's impossible for you to have it. He was like, you don't know where they live. You don't know what time. You don't know what his safe would be. You don't have no connection with the friends. How would you even know any of this information? He said, and we know they know because they was stealing them guns and selling them. Mm-hmm. He told me the whole case.
Oh, okay. So
now, if they would have took them coins or that motorcycle, he would have been cooked.
That's really what linked them, because of the guns.
Right.
So they just threw that out. Nothing. What are they going to say? We've already sold this many guns. You got us on. Oh yeah, and the safe. Oh no, we did this, but not that. Yeah.
And so we went back and forth, and he was like, "You can go." That was the first time. Second time we went, it was a little pressure, because he was like, they insisting that they called you that day and some text messages that day and this and that. I was like, man, ain't nobody. I don't know nothing about none of that. I'm thinking he trying to scare me, because I only text them that morning. That was the only time we ever text. Other than that, there wasn't no phone connection to me. So when I left, I was kind of wary. But I didn't even tell the other people that was with me that I had been going down there to talk to the police. Because if I had to, I ain't gonna lie, I was gonna throw everybody under the bus. That's true. I was holding all the cards.
He was holding every card. This dude playing more than chess. He playing, what's that, Risk? That game Risk, whatever. He monopolizing I don't know what he doing, but he's something.
If I got but the third time I went, he called me. He was like, I need you to come down here again. So I went down there. He told me, he was like, we're about to get the message. He was like, is there anything you want to tell me? I said, look, I'm going to be honest with you. I said, all I know is I was sitting in in-school suspension. I said, the guy name, I said, he came up to me and told me that they was finna get this safe and they was gonna give me $20,000 a piece. All I know is that all this stuff done broke out. My name is in it. I saw it in the newspaper and I still ain't got my money. That's all I know. That's all I know. And he was like, and I believe you. And I said, I said, I'm good to go? He was like, yeah.
He just basically gave them more information. He didn't even have to say that, but that just made the people that was going to jail, the original people, just put them in a deeper hole, bro. This dude is crazy.
He's already got his guys. They're already rolling over on each other left and right.
And I walked out and he called me one last time. I was in my mama's house. He called me. He was like, Joe, he was like, he was like, I know you done been down here a few times without. I was like, you do know I'm 17, right? He was like, yeah. I was like, I've been down there 3 times without my mama. I said, I done told my mama. I said, my mama said next time I come down there, she gonna file a lawsuit. Never heard from him again. It was over.
Oh, this dude is just crazy smart, bro.
True story. It was done. It was done. But like
smart.
I said, I was out.
Street smart.
So after that, you got the
attempted murder.
Attempted murder. You went. You did how many months?
The year.
A year.
I did the year. Yeah, the first time I did 5 months, 5 days. Second time I did 10 months. Second time I did a year on the nose. I got locked up November 16, 2005. Got out November 16, 2006.
Okay.
2007, July 27th, I got arrested for special aggravated robbery, special aggravated kidnapping, first degree premeditated murder, and 3 counts of felony murder.
Bro, what is you doing?
What happened there?
This a tough one. This one are hard to talk. This one kind of hard to talk about.
Hey, if y'all want me to continue this specific story, it sounds like he's going into a different story. But if y'all want me to continue that, please let me know in the comments and I will 100% finish this. I wanted to hear specifically that story though. That's crazy. Comment anything y'all got to say about that, because this dude he's smart up here, bro. People be trying to play like certain people be dumb, but they know what they doing. They know what they doing. But if y'all like this video, again, like, comment, subscribe. Appreciate y'all for tuning in. Peace and love to y'all.